Hey, here we go. Fabulous Friday. Final video, I promise. Final video. And I'll tell you, don't ever try to do this while you're hedging, picking up leaves, coming in and out, trying to gather your thoughts, put something out, go back out, in and out. And then I'll tell you again, the second thing is, aren't leaves supposed to fall in the fall? Like, I have so many leaves, and it's actually crazy. So earlier in the day, I pushed out that video, and I told you there were symptoms to this lost in identity for the Air Force. And now I'm going to articulate that to you a little bit more. So back in, I believe it was 2013, I had an incredible opportunity to leave one job and venture into another. I was at the Air Force Inspection Agency. I was working for an incredible man, Brigadier General Rich Coe, who goes by Tex. He's retired now. Hey, Tex, hopefully you're listening. And I got hired by Colonel Greg DeWolf out in Texas, and he's another incredible family man, incredible person who I have utmost respect for. And but the point is, as is the case whenever you leave somewhere, they want to have these shindigs. They want to do all these different things. They want to say goodbye. So General Coe had this going away thing in our little conference room. We had some cake, pies, punch, all that good stuff. And you get your medal, and he calls you up. And that day he said some incredible things that stuck with me, not only the rest of my career, but they stick with me today in life. And the one thing I took from it was this ability to understand, I think, who and what people are for what they are, and why they do what they do, and why they behave and or act in certain ways. And during that going away, Colonel Self, Colonel Lee, Colonel Clint, Colonel Coxstein, great people that I had the opportunity to work with, also imparted great wisdom on me. And Colonel Coxstein is somebody who's seen me grow in the military from a tech sergeant, master sergeant to kind of where I am today, and she's a great friend, and hopefully she's out there taking a listen as well. But during that going away, General Coe said some things. And some of these things were in a book that he gave me entitled Fighter Pilot. And it is kind of a montage to the career of Colonel Robin Olds. And in the book, and I use this today, but in the book, it talks about these symptoms that exist in the military. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read you the passage. It's just a couple of paragraphs. But when we talk about being lost in identity, understanding these symptoms is how we get revectored and refocused. All right. So bear with me. And this is General Spates talking to Colonel Robin Olds at the time. Colonel Olds had decided he was going to stay in the service. So basically it says, "You've told me you intend staying in the service. That's good, and I'm glad. Now, I know advice is cheap and often suspect, but here goes. You've had a good start, and there's a long road in front of you. But always remember this. Your most difficult problem will be the people. In the military, they mostly divide themselves into four major categories. There are the me-firsters, me-toers, the deadwood, and the dedicated. You are among the minority, the dedicated. Stick with them, search them out, and work hard to be worthy of their company. You won't be popular with a lot of your bosses who act dedicated, but really aren't. And that can make life difficult at times. Beware of the deadwood. Most of them mean well, and in their own way, try hard, are loyal, and are even useful. But too often, they'll botch things up and get you and your outfit in trouble. Watch out for the me-toers. These guys will tell you whatever they think you want to hear. They borrow thoughts and ideas from others and present them to you as though they were their own. They are the opportunists who look for every avenue to advance themselves without sticking their own necks out. They ride someone else's coattails and try to make themselves indispensable to the boss. Believe me, they are not to be trusted. You don't want yes men around you, but you can't always avoid them. And then General Spates went on to say, the worst and most dangerous are the me-firsters. Most of them are intelligent and totally ruthless. They use the service for their own gain and will not hesitate to stick a knife in your back at the slightest indication you might stand in their way. They seem arrogant, but don't be fooled. They are really completely lacking in self-confidence. And then he goes on to ask if Colonel Oates understands that. And then the book kind of continues. It's a great book. It's actually titled The Fighter Pilot. If you get a chance to read it, I encourage you to do so. But those four things I talked about, the me-firsters, the me-toers, the deadwood, and the dedicated, are all symptoms of an inability to get to a specific identity. And leaders in the Air Force, really anybody in the Air Force that aspires to lead, needs to understand those symptoms that exist in the Air Force, and you define them accordingly. And then that is how you push an organization forth. It's not by writing you're dedicated until they fall over and they can no longer move. It's about balancing. It's about valuing each one of those for what they are, and then working them into the totality of the goal of the Air Force. And so we as an entity miss that. We miss that. We miss acknowledging symptoms. We miss taking an opportunity to really define people. We miss the opportunity to intermingle and understand people. And if you're a commander, how do you get to the heart of understanding this if you're sitting behind a desk and never getting out? How do you get to the heart of understanding the people that are driving success in your organization if you don't know who the people are? How do you put your signature on an EPR or an OPR for an O1 or an E1 or E2 that you've never met and you don't even know because you haven't gotten out from behind your desk? All of these things are symptoms of an inability to establish an identity. And if you don't think they are, then you're probably in the wrong business and you need to find something else to do. Because there's always somebody waiting that wants to jump in, put on a uniform, and wants to lead. All right? So today, Fabulous Friday. It's been an incredible day for me. 3 videos I got to put out. Hopefully you guys like them. And we'll continue to talk about things as we progress and go on. If you really like it, hit the share, follow me, push it out to your friends, relatives, family. I have a friend up in Tennessee who was pushed it to his father-in-law, who is a retired sergeant major. I think he's been to Vietnam like 30 times. Has some incredible stories, but he's an incredible man. And again, I have worked with incredible people, and I've been so blessed to have an opportunity to be surrounded by some of the very best the Air Force has to offer. And this is in no way a kick, I guess, to the groin of leadership. But what it should be is a reflection point to take a step back and say, how can we move beyond who we are today? Be very cohesive with understanding that we all have dreams, desires, and then there's people who come to work and just do a good job. They might fall in the deadwood piece, but you have to honor a man who brings his lunch pail to work every day, right? And so we have to give significance and acknowledgement of that. But watch out for the most dangerous of them, those me-firsters. They exist, they're out there, and some of them are in charge of your organizations right now. So it's up to you to figure it out, all right? All I can do is give you the tools as best as I know how, and we can all move collectively, all right? So any comments, any things that people want to push back my way, please feel free. If you disagree wholeheartedly, that's fine too. As I said earlier, I don't take things offensively. I have a responsibility to my Lord and Savior. I have a responsibility to my family. And those are the things that are important to me. But I would like to play a difference in people's lives. moving forth from this day forward. And so this is my attempt to get my feet and toe kind of stuck in the water a little bit. And you know, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. But I love you guys. Thank you for following me. Unsecured from the skiff. Unsecured from the skiff. It's your boy, Big Papi. It's Freaky Friday. Now, it was Fabulous Friday. Now it's going to be Freaky Friday. I'm going to go have a cocktail for all you guys. I'm going to pour out a little bit for the men and women who've lost their lives serving this great country. And to the men and women who are downrange, thank you. Thank you. It's a tough world, tough environment, but you are the true heroes of this nation. And I thank you so much for your service. So for those that serve, past, present, future, have a good Friday. Have a good week. And next week, we'll see what we can come up with. All right. Love you guys. Peace out, man.